And we are back on the For Real Movie Club American Pride edition. We're talking about all the movies that make us proud to be an American. Up next in our lineup is Invasion USA, the 1985 low-budget B-level action movie starring Chuck Norris, roundhouse-kicking terrorists on his way to save America as they try to destroy it. Man, if you like Chuck Norris, this is the quintessential... Well, I'm not going to say that, but it is the definition of what you expect a Chuck Norris movie to be. If you're not familiar with Chuck Norris, you may not know what exactly to expect. So let's start talking to our panelists here and see what they thought about Invasion USA. Go around as I did before, getting our initial reactions to the movie. Steven, why don't you start us off? What was your initial reaction to watching Invasion USA?
This movie is so fucking stupid. If you're not if you've always seen the Chuck Norris's memes and you don't know what they're all about, this is the story of that meme. It's Chuck Norris the meme, the movie. He blows shit up, they blow shit up, he wins, the end, America.
The Chuck Norris meme, the movie.
Johnna, why don't you follow him up? What do you think about what's your initial reactions after watching this?
Honestly, it's Chuck Norris in a movie. It's just the personification of Chuck Norris. It's just, he's right. He blows a lot of stuff up. He punches a lot of people in the face. I'm surprised a fist didn't come out of his beard. You don't even understand why half of it's even going on. It's a low budget action film. It's all it is. And I didn't despise it, but I really didn't enjoy it that much.
Eddie, what were your initial reactions after watching Invasion USA?
Well, I had many reactions. My first reaction was actually I laughed because of the very intro where he's just squinting into the horizon. You know, he's in that airboat. You know, he's like being totally American in Florida. You know, that's like yeah. The rest of the movie was downhill from there. You know. Well, yeah, it wasn't good, man. It wasn't good, and I'm not trying to be anti-American because you can't bash Chuck Norris or he'll bash you. So, yeah.
Tony, your initial reactions to watching Invasion USA?
The first thing I thought of was, man, I need to go to bed. I can't stay up and watch this movie anymore. But I sat through the whole thing, and God, this is ridiculous. It is so. I mean, I can't even keep track of the retarded stuff that happens in this movie. And it's played in such an earnest way.
I know.
Oh, my God. It's just so
It's
80s.
nice.
So Jean-Claude Van Damme. Even to the logo itself, you're like, okay, if you just saw Invasion USA on the screen with that metallic effect from the 80s, you got to go, okay, is this Van Damme, Seagal, Norris? Which one is it? It's got to be one of these guys.
That's the only way this movie could have been any worse if it was fucking Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since you say that, first thing I want to talk about is our hero of the film, Chuck Norris. He starts his life as a retired guy on the Louisiana Bayou. He's sitting in his shack with his pet armadillo, which was absolutely adorable. Eventually...
I'm pretty sure it's Florida.
Was it Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, wherever it was.
I mean, because like the Cubans like in the boat in the beginning, and then Florida.
That makes a lot of sense.
Alligator.
Everglades,
yeah.
USA. That's all that matters.
I completely forgot about that first scene.
You say you sat retiring, you should have retired after this movie.
Well, he gets called back into action after they find out that a bunch of Russians have invaded the USA and plan to set off a bunch of bombs, as the Russians do, I guess. What did you guys think of Chuck Norris as our hero in this movie, coming to save the day for America? Tony?
The opening for this character, what was his name in it? Like Max Hunter or something?
Yeah, something like
that. Yeah, Matt Hunter.
Buff
Matt Hunter. Oh, yeah. Like John Hero or something like that. Just the opening shot alone, Eddie touched upon it earlier, of him just squinting through the Everglades on a fucking airboat, and then it's like the next scene he's got to wrestle an alligator. Like, I get it, he's fucking macho. You might as well have had like just a shot of his muscles, and he could have just been staring at the screen for 8 minutes and just been like, Matt Hunter, yeah, you're gonna die, motherfucker. He does not need much characterization, because the people that love these movies, especially at the time that this came out, if you would have given them characterization, they would have been like, "Oh, this is so stupid. Just get to where you're punching through somebody's throat or something."
Someone riding a motorcycle?
No, some jackass is like racing down the avenue. Never mind.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
Chuck Norris
Yo,
heard
that-
Tony
you
speak
better
talking shit.
Tone down that critique, man. I mean, seriously.
It's like,
It's
stare at my
okay, we
muscles,
live-
goddammit.
We live 2 blocks from a fireworks store, and it's 2 days after 4th of July.
Oh, they know.
So we feel your pain.
Oh man, the craters.
Oh, gosh. Eddie, did I ask you about Chuck Norris? Why don't you take?
Please don't. Dude, I mean, here's the thing. I can't get enough of those Chuck Norris jokes. Like, you know, when Chuck Norris does a push-up, he's not pushing himself up. He's pushing the world down. Stuff like that, I dig. I really do. It's just, he just walks around like with that kind of like, you can tell if he's grinning or if he's just like gritting his teeth or what. And then he's like driving around, and then he shows up and he just like beats the crap out of people, shoots people, or he punches them, or did he even say anything in the movie? I don't remember.
I had a couple one-liners.
Yeah, something like that. It's Chuck Norris the movie, man. I don't know. It's
Johnna, what'd you think about Chuck
Long live
Norris?
Chuck Norris. Long live Chuck Norris. That's all.
Johnna, what'd you think about it?
I just have one question. When
What's
the house burnt down, was the armadillo okay?
That's
Yes,
what I was
yes,
wondering.
yes,
They showed the
yes.
armadillo climbing down the stairs, but then you never see it again the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. And for like 2 to 5 minutes afterwards, I just kept going to Steve, is the armadillo okay? What happened to the armadillo? Where the
No.
hell is the armadillo?
You can't just like
It's
set up this
okay.
character of the pet armadillo. You even show like Chuck Norris like laughing at it as it knocks over its feeding dish, and then you never see it again. Like this armadillo should have been by his side as he's like machine gunning terrorists. It should have been on his shoulder.
You think if this
Yeah,
big
there's
brawny
arm.
man liked this armadillo so much, he would have like gone through the fire to save the fucking armadillo? Like, where's the armadillo?
He was climbing down the steps, and then he was never seen again. Yeah,
It's really
I'm
bothersome.
assuming that it's Florida, so he was a retired armadillo. Yet Chuck Norris had to go out and cast.
Retired armadillo.
Well, I mean, armadillos are like from Texas, right? So America.
I'm curious to know. Chuck Norris apparently had his hand in writing this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder if he was just kind of like, I gotta have a pet armadillo in this movie. Because it's funny that when they attack his house and they kill that, he's supposed to be an Indian or something like that with the airboat business, they kill him, and Chuck Norris brings his body to his house and then sets it on fire. So he basically just like gave his buddy like a Valkyrie's death essentially, but doesn't pay that much attention to the armadillo. So he's fine with burning the body of his friend and doesn't go after the armadillo and stuff. Maybe there's some kind of a deleted scene here where like the armadillo helped save the day against the Russians. He like threw it at somebody and it attacked them or something. I don't know.
Well, no, armadillos are hard shelled, so I mean it would hurt. Right?
Just roll him like a bowling ball at somebody and knock him over.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for my favorite scene of the movie.
Oh, now that we got the armadillo talk out of the way, Johnna, I'm sorry. What was your thoughts of Norris in this movie?
I have nothing against Chuck Norris. I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he's pretty much an okay actor. And in some things, he's been a very good actor. It's just, again, Chuck Norris, the movie. There's really not much to say here. He hardly spoke. It was mostly action, so it's kind of hard to like judge his acting when he hardly speaks.
Steven, wrap
There
us up.
goes Chuck Norris.
Still hearing us talking about him. Steven, say something nice about Chuck Norris.
Before he beats us up.
It's sad, but the armadillo had more character development than Chuck Norris. We spent more time talking about that fucking animal than we did the main character.
Because we know it's hungry because it didn't give it full food dish and it knocked it over.
It spilled over until milk, so that's how upset it was. It was probably like going like, "Hey man, I'm pissed off here in the jungle. Let's go somewhere else." New York.
He was probably pissed off that he was associated with this movie.
There's the sequel, Armadillo, Hungry for Justice.
Okay, but as far as fucking Chuck Norris goes, he blew shit up. I mean, he did a good job at blowing shit up. It's all he did, so I can't really critique him on his acting because he didn't act.
Well, this is usually the part where I ask you guys about the surrounding cast, but there really wasn't any. There was.
All blew up. The end.
They had a Russian villain, Rozdov. I don't know anything about this actor. I'd never seen him before, and even though he's the main villain, he's only in the movie for like 4 scenes.
Yeah.
So I don't think we really need to go too into that. So let's just fast forward and talk about what our favorite scene in the movie and what our least favorite scene in the movie was. So good luck to you guys picking those out.
Well, there was also that like reporter chick.
Oh yeah, who never got like a conclusion to her storyline.
No.
Yeah.
She's an annoying ass bitch, though.
Yeah,
By the end of the movie, like you just completely forgot that she was even a character in the movie
pretty much.
because you didn't have that schmaltzy wrap up.
Yeah,
And there was
it's kind
no
of like
nudity.
they decided they didn't want to make her a damsel in distress, so they just didn't make her anything.
Now I know this movie sucked. Yeah, there's no nudity.
Eddie, what was your favorite scene and your least favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene of the movie is when the armadillo spills the milk. My least favorite scene was when the armadillo, is tripping down the stairs.
Oh, but it was so cute.
But apart from that, okay, a bonus scene is when Chuck Norris, bravely points the bazooka towards the guy's solar plexus, the Russian guy, and then he just fucking fires and BAM! Go to fucking Russian hell. This is America. And then credits.
It's about
Is that a
4
place? Am
seconds
I
after he
going
kills the villain when it goes to the credits.
Well,
Not
as soon
even.
as he killed
Not
him,
even.
and there's like no sound, there's no music, there's no nothing. I'm like, tell me this movie's about to end right now, and it fucking does. I'm like, yes,
It's
perfect.
Dude, I swear, the cheesiest ending I had seen that I remember, was from Commando. Schwarzenegger when he throws that pipe onto that dude, and he goes like, "There, let off a little steam." Anyway, there's like he hit some sort of pipe in the back, and then like the steam coming through. Anyways, that was so cheesy. But this one definitely outdid it.
All right, Steven, your favorite and least favorite scenes of Invasion USA.
Oh man, when he killed those people, that was awesome. But I didn't like when he killed those people.
Okay.
It was like, it's hard to pick
That's
anything
all
out.
there
The
is.
bazooka scene was awesome.
But
Shame about the
which
rest of the
bazooka
movie.
scene? Because there's also the bazooka scene where they're like blowing up people's houses on Christmas. That was messed up.
That was-
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
It was just randomly Christmas.
At
too.
least he let the little girl put the star on the tree before he blew her house up.
This
Yep.
is true.
That's cool.
So yeah, the Chuck Norris using the bazooka scene, that was good.
So we could do this movie again for Christmas movies. We'll have to keep that one in mind.
Oh my god. No.
And possible like animal movies also, because there's an armadillo.
Oh yes. Armadillo movies. We'll do a whole one on armadillos. Johnna, what was your favorite and your least favorite?
My favorite parts were when the armadillo knocked over its milk, and also when Chuck Norris bazookaed the guy in the chest. Honestly, my least favorite part is the rest of the movie. I'm not even lying.
I can't believe how much talk we're getting out of this damn armadillo.
To make it to the movie,
It
I'm just like, the
was so
fucking armadillo is what you're paying attention to?
I mean, you feel sorry for him. I mean, he's a retired armadillo in Florida, right? Low taxes.
Just trying to
and
enjoy his
He's trying to
retirement.
live his life, right? And then
Golden
like,
years of
boom,
his
they
life.
blow his house. And it's like, fuck.
Armadillo USA.
Tony, wrap us up. What was your favorite scene, your least favorite scene of Invasion USA?
Well, there's not too much to say about the movie. There's not a whole lot of substance. It's just sort of, tits, violence, drugs, no bullshit story, man's movie kind of a thing from the 80s. But the things that stood out to me outside of giving credit to Little Army there, obvious villain is obvious. Dude looks like he is the villain of the movie for the very first second you see him. And probably my favorite scene in the whole film is when he kills those people very early on. He pushes the prostitute's head with a Coke straw off his nose,
Oh,
shoots the
yeah.
guy's balls off or something. Like, that's crazy. There's 2 candidates for my least favorite scene. One is the kids singing like Wheels on the Bus or something like that. They're supposed to be like afraid that they're going to get murdered, and they're just kind of like singing, I don't know, whatever the fuck it was. And pretty much any scene that Chuck Norris is reflecting or trying to act, except for one. And there's one line in the movie that I was just like, this is fucking amazing. when the guy's got the messed up hand and he's torturing him essentially, and he says to the other guy, "If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights you're gonna beg for a left."
Oh my god, I blocked that out. I just blocked
Oh my
that
god,
out.
that was officially the first time in the movie that I paused it, brought up Microsoft Word, and wrote that down. Of like, I gotta write this into my notes.
Tony just reminded me of the scene that I hated the most, actually. That Wheels on the Bus thing.
Yes, he actually looked at me and said, "Is this ever going to end?"
It's like, do they not know all of... It's like, fuck. Stop singing the same goddamn words for the fucking half hour, it felt like. Jesus Christ.
No, at some point they started singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat. But they didn't know that song is supposed to be like a round where you like sing it off time with each other. So they're all just singing it together. And it seriously goes on for like 5 minutes.
They were on a bus instead of a boat.
And it led up to what was one of the very few like action one-liners. I have to say one thing, as far as an action movie, this was limited on the action one-liners, but it did lead up to another one of those that I really liked. You talked about that one with the rights, but another one is he takes the bomb that the terrorists put on the bus and then drives up to the terrorists in their car, drops the bomb on their hood. He's like, "Hey, drop this," and then just drives off and lets them blow up. Yeah.
You know, here's one last thing.
Good.
There was a lot of cocaine being done in the 80s, and I think these producers and directors and whatever, they were like they were just making these movies going like, "Yeah, we'll make some good money with this movie." You know, like
it was all actual coke from the director's personal stash.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did you ever see Wall Street, Charlie Sheen? That was real coke. I don't know.
I'm thinking about Wolf of Wall Street.
I'm just guessing.
That was probably real coke in that too.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys. Invasion USA, do you think in this present day 2014 world, once again, we're at high tension with Russia, could we see a remake of this movie in present day? And who would you want to be cast as Matt or Max Hunter? And should it have an armadillo? Steven, what do you think?
Just take any fucking douchebag wearing a cut-off t-shirt that says "tap out," and he can play the fucking main role for this. And I would never want to see this abomination make it to the screen again. Fuck me, this was dumb.
Armadillo Rose.
Johnna, what about
Armadillo? Yeah, hell yeah to the Armadillo.
Johnna, would you see a remake for this?
No, just no. But if they did, why can't they just like make it about the armadillo?
Yeah,
just like have him blow up the bus. I don't know. Just I don't know. John Cena. He seems ridiculous enough. Like I don't know. I have nothing against John Cena, but
hey, at least he wouldn't have to act in that. That's a good plus for everyone.
Maybe not the character. I don't like the character. He seems a good enough guy, but his character I kind of want to punch in the face. But I don't know. John Cena, sure, we'll cast him in that. Seems legit.
Eddie, would you see a remake of this?
No.
Just no.
Okay. Tony, how about you? Remake possible?
It better not, but if they do, they need to make it to where Chuck Norris is in it, and it's actually a sequel, not a remake. And the armadillo has to save him from the Russians, and you can call it Invasion USA One-Man Army.
Okay, here's an addendum, right? Go to Google right now and type in World Cup mascot.
Is it an armadillo?
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
And that's what should start. That you should just have a fucking armadillo mutant man like fighting.
Oh goodness.
Oh my god, it is an armadillo.
So here's a fun fact. Did you know this movie was novelized in 1985?
Because exactly the target audience is going to want to read this, right?
How do you even convert this into text?
He shot the gun. The person died. It happened again. The end.
The text literally goes like boom.
Written by Wade Barrett.
The person is just like mashing their hands against the typewriter. All right, guys, let's close out this. Let me go around one final time, ask you guys your final rating for this movie, and did it invoke American pride from you? Tony?
I'm just gonna say no for both.
Okay. So you're giving it a 0?
I'm giving it a no out of a rating.
Okay. Eddie?
I can't. I can't do this.
Okay. All right, Johnna.
I'll either go with a no or a 1.
Oh, no one should watch this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give Armadillo a 10, but the rest of it gets like a no. It's a no.
And Steven, you're closing us out on that.
There's movies that I hate more than this, so I'm going to give it a 2. And
I guess you're right, yeah.
I don't feel American from any of these
I didn't
films,
get what
so
was
fucking
American
hell no
in-
with this.
I don't get what was American at all about this at all. Like, there's nothing American about Chuck Norris's character. He just seemed to be beating crap up for the sake of beating crap up.
Yeah,
No, that's the thing.
American.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But that's it. That's it. That's exactly what it's all about. I mean, this movie, if we have to, if we must put it in the corner and say, what are you? What the fuck are you? This movie is the embodiment of like this cheap 80s propaganda that was going on in mass media and movies and everything. Everything was G.I. Joe. It was Hulk Hogan, real American, There was, Top Gun, there's all this stuff like making, wanting you to make you proud of being American. And this movie is just a cheap shot at, adding to that kind of market.
All right, well, with that, we're going to wrap up talking about Chuck Norris's hit movie, Invasion USA. We're going to take another short break here in the live stream. We'll be back in just a moment. If you're listening to us in the archive, please find our next one, which is going to be Air Force One. We'll be back in just a moment, live on Mega Powers Radio.